Welcome to That's No Class. I'm Brian Baruman.
And I'm Morgan Darian.
Welcome back to the home of class, where we talk about the most interesting and funny things happening in the news and in our lives. Try to live classy. No, try to figure out how to live classy and call out no-class moves.
This week in news, Brian brings us Justice for Justice. I cover odd rescues. My segment Clear the Plates is back. We discuss our ikigai. And as always, we end with our no-class picks.
Just want to say, since last week, we've been talking about planes. In the last week, 3 small plane crashes.
Oh, my God.
So watch out, everybody.
Watch out.
Be careful when you fly private. That's all I'm saying. Or own your own plane or build your own plane.
Any of those.
Any of the above. Okay, let's get to some news.
Now here's the news.
All right, a judge in Chandler, Oklahoma is stepping down and is never going to try to be a judge in Oklahoma again. Why?
Yeah.
She got busted for sending 500 text messages to her bailiff during a murder trial. In June of last year, 50 minutes of security video from directly over her head looking out at the courtroom got released. Shows her put her cell phone in her lap, scrolling Facebook, texting the bailiff. Shout out to the Oklahoman for releasing that video. Local journalism doing its thing. The investigation from the state Supreme Court found the judge said things in the texts like, the prosecutor was sweating through his coat.
Oh, gosh.
Describing the defense attorney as awesome and asking, can I clap for her? During the defense attorney's opening arguments, she also texted a laughing emoji icon to the bailiff who had made a crass and demeaning reference to the prosecuting attorney's genitals.
No!
She also apparently called murder trial witnesses liars, admired the looks of a police officer, and saying after one defendant's testimony, can I please scream liar, liar?
Oh, my gosh.
So the biggest problem, other than it's simply inappropriate to text during a trial, is that she was seemingly, revealed by these texts, totally biased against the defense.
Before hearing anything.
Exactly, which as a judge, you're supposed to be completely impartial.
I mean, we know it happens, but...
We know. I mean, journalism has its own code of ethics that we have to follow, but for judges, that's the ultimate highest bar. But what I think about is so funny about this is 2 things. Number one, that she has it in her lap because I don't know if anybody's ever been inside a courtroom. I have multiple times for various reasons. When you're in there, the judge looks so high and you feel it's an intimidating thing to be in the presence of the judge. You have no idea what is up there, what papers, what they're looking at, what they're doing. And this woman's straight up just texting.
That's weird. I would think she could just do it right on the desk because no one can really see.
Because no one could see. My number 2, you know me. I love a good covert text.
Oh, no.
Like, how fun would it be to be the judge and all these people in your courtroom and your homie, the bailiff, is over there and you guys got this nonstop text chain going.
My gosh.
Like, I want to see the security video. I want to see, like, all the smirks every time, like, one message is received. Like, they...
This is so terrible.
Like...
Oh, my gosh.
But
what a wild thing.
My question, so she's in trouble. She's done. She's not going to be a judge anymore. Like, over with. But my question is, what happened to the bailiff?
I don't know.
There were takes 2 to text here.
Yeah, but he's not in charge of who's going to jail.
So is he allowed to do whatever he wants?
Yeah, probably.
He can just text when he's like, I'm not the judge.
Yeah.
Isn't he supposed to be watching? What does a bailiff do? I don't really get what a bailiff does.
I'm not entirely sure. My assumption is that they, like, are supposed to tackle anyone that, like, gets too crazy.
Yeah, they're like security, right?
Yeah,
they're like the judge's bodyguard.
That's what I think. Or they remove people from the courtroom.
They have the
if
authority.
needed. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Well, I guess they can text too. Do whatever they want.
I would think the only reason that they would get in trouble is if they texted something about the court case to outside.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, that's a big no-no.
Yeah, you can't do
that.
But,
like, why would they get in trouble for texting her back?
It just doesn't seem right.
It's not right.
Doesn't seem right.
But they're not in charge of
True.
how that's going to go for those people.
Okay.
Really funny.
That's mine. What do you got?
All right. Your news story would be published at my news organization.
Okay, what is it?
No, I just mean, like, you're on my level.
Oh, I'm on your level. Yeah. It is a Morgan-style news that I brought this week. Yes, true.
We would publish it.
Thank you.
I'm praying you haven't heard of this one yet. I never know, like, what makes it to your newsroom, so here goes. Okay. A woman in New Hampshire was throwing away her trash. She falls into the garbage dumpster. Amazing. How? No idea. How does one fall into the garbage bin unless one is like digging for something?
True.
Who knows? While she's inside the bin, the garbage gets picked up and compacted. She's
What?
inside and gets compacted with garbage.
Is she alive?
Okay? She gets compacted 4 times until her neighbors hear her screams and urge the driver to get her out. He calls 911. The fire department has to use a special ladder to get her out. They said by the time they were rescuing her, she was standing and yelling, but was not alert enough to answer questions.
I thought it like crushed it into like a little cube. How could you survive that?
I don't know.
I mean, that's the ending of the original Ninja Turtles movie is you threw Shredder into a garbage compactor and he got smashed.
I don't know. So, like, we obviously don't know about compactors as much as we thought
I guess
we
there's
did.
a lot more space.
Or else, maybe there was, like, some furniture or something that was, like, bigger that, like, saved her somehow. I don't know.
She
they
is
did not
lucky
give me
to
the
be
details.
alive.
I know. 4 times she was squished. Is that not insane?
That's insane.
The garbage man was like, in my 32 years, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, dude.
She is so lucky.
I know.
Oh my God.
Is that not wild?
That's so wild.
I'm surprised someone even heard her as well because
Those things are loud.
Yeah.
They're loud even just when they're running idle.
amazing.
Okay.
How have you ever
Yeah, I
heard
mean,
that
is that a
one?
rescue?
Yeah.
How many more times was she going to get compacted?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, do you have personal news?
Yeah, nothing big. I just got a haircut.
No.
And nobody's more happy about it, I think, than Morgan. Like, I didn't realize how much she like wanted this to happen, but it's been nothing but compliments. And there were no compliments before I got there.
You stop it. I was nice.
So I am happy that you're happy.
so funny.
I am also happy.
It looks really good.
Thank you.
You were turning into a triangle head before.
Yeah, it's bad.
You're so cute.
Okay, what about you? Do you have
Okay.
anything going on?
Oh, my personal news this week is that I've discovered a healthy pancake. Okay, here's the recipe. Half a cup of oat flour, optional 1/4 cup almond flour, add water until battery, then make small pancakes. They're super quick. Top with optional spritz of olive oil, definitely top with salt, then maple syrup. You're welcome.
It's true. I sampled it this morning and it's real good.
Yeah, if you're into eggs, that definitely helps, but I'm on a vegan kick right now.
Yeah, no, legit. Legit
Basically,
pancake.
I've discovered a way to have oatmeal in the morning with literally all of the same ingredients, but it's a pancake, and who would rather have oatmeal than a pancake?
Yeah,
No one.
She hates oats. She hates my oats.
Well, you don't even cook yours. Okay,
Whatever.
besides the point.
Okay, when we come back, the quickest way to save money at a restaurant, and then a journey into life's true purpose. Thanks so much for being here with us. We love having you. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Morgan has worked as a server for about 18 years. She's an expert in steak temps and bottomless mimosas. She can carry 4 plates at once. And just last week, when we went out with my sister, after discussing what we all wanted in great detail, Morgan nonchalantly says, "Okay, I'll go order for us at the bar." And my sister says, "How? We'll go with you." And Morgan responds by shrugging and listing everything that we want, including changes, extras, drinks, smiles a little bit. But something she can't stand when we go out is bad service. So it's time for our segment known as Clear the Plates.
Chef, we good.
We are not good.
What?
We are not good, chef.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is more so a few notes for parents who dine out. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on berating parents for not knowing these things. There are definitely humans who give a shit about everyone else and act accordingly. And then there are the ones who don't. And we all know the difference, right?
Yep.
So I've compiled a list of things for myself just in case upon moving to my next career, I have a brain lapse and forget my server ways. Okay, so when we have a small human, here are the rules. I'm going to count backwards to my number 1. Okay. Number 6, bring activities. And no, a tablet doesn't count. And I'm not going to berate people for the obvious reason, which is that you're killing your child's brain. You're also killing their ability to interact with people and behave in public the proper way. And then after setting up your toddler like this, you wonder why your kid can't order for themselves when they're older. And then when they're teenagers and on their phones. You wonder why you or your server has to wave a hand in front of their face to get them to wake up enough to order food. So yeah, bring coloring books, toys, books to read. It's a good time for everyone.
Yeah, and interact with them while they're doing it.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a few families who do this, and it's so cute.
Show me your picture. What are you drawing? What is that? Is that us? They'll probably tell you it's us, because that's always, family is always the first thing kids draw.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. That's what they do.
I love it.
It's great.
Like, why are they with you if you don't want to hang out with them?
I don't know.
Ridiculous. Okay, number 5, bring snacks. It's not the restaurant's fault that your kid should be on a snack schedule. They shouldn't have to provide quicker service to you because you're bad at planning. This one actually goes for adults too. Like, you left your house hungry and now you're going to take it out on someone else. Grab a damn snack, you fool. You're an adult. Take care of yourself. Food takes time to cook, especially when the restaurant is busy. They're not just going to skip all the tables that came before you because you're having a hunger tantrum.
Yep.
That's insane
That is insane.
and very selfish.
That's a good one. That's a deep, only a server would like know that.
I
Okay.
say this all the time. I'm like, oh, you're mad at me? You just got here. I don't know what your life is.
That's awesome.
Get out of my face. Okay. Number 4, piggybacking on number 5. Better yet, for children at least, don't even order at restaurants. Here's the money-saving tip. Guess what? You just wasted $12 to $20 for no reason. First off, most kids don't even eat what you order them.
Nope.
All they want is like one strawberry.
Yep.
So give them that and have snacks packed. Just in
Save
case.
money, dude. Why are you ordering your child like an adult's portion of food?
Literally.
They're not going to eat it.
No.
They don't want to eat. You're hungry, not them.
Yeah, and then like the kids that are kind of interested, all they want to do is like stick their hand over to your plate and take one potato.
Yeah.
That's all they need
Yeah, man.
to
Save
survive.
that money. What are they afraid of? They're afraid that their kid's going to starve. They're going to eat as much as they want to eat.
Exactly. Your kid's going to be fine.
they'll be
If
fine.
there's food in front of them, they will eat if they're hungry.
Man, I see these families out there with like 3 kids. I'm like, what are you spending $130 right now for
It's
brunch?
so
Is that
much
what you're doing
money.
right now?
Yeah. So
Good one.
that's my tip.
That's a deep knowledge. That's a great tip.
And people probably think I'm exaggerating, but I'm really not. I could literally probably picture the kids who eat all their food.
Oh yeah, you see it.
I can count them on one hand.
You literally see it every day.
Yeah.
You've been telling me this for years.
It's so crazy.
Like kids don't eat.
No, they really don't.
I'm like, okay.
Okay. So, number 3, if you have a baby that is turning into a toddler and there's literally no break from tantrums or crying, don't go out. Order in. I'm sorry, but you did this to yourselves, and we are not a part of your decision and shouldn't suffer.
Dude, yes, please.
It's too much.
Please. Or get up and dad, mom, one person get up and take them outside.
That you're going like right into my number 2, which is you're exactly right.
Go for it.
Because if your kid is having a momentary tantrum or breakdown, like they're a tiny bit older,
Yeah.
do not panic. Simply remove them. Exactly like you said. It works 9 times out of 10.
Like a reset, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't work? Trying to reason with them or ignoring them or threatening them. Like, none of those work. I'm telling you right now. I've seen them all many times.
That's really true. I love when people try to rationalize with like a 3-year-old. That kid doesn't know what day of the week it
and
is.
they're in their moment right now.
Yeah.
They're not listening to you.
They live in an ever-present reality that you can't even fathom. They don't know long-term consequences of
No.
character development and like how it makes you feel.
development.
This is a wild beast.
Exactly.
Like rationalize with your dog, you might as well. Like
Just give them the blueberry instead of trying to force them to eat the eggs they don't want.
Yeah.
Just give them that one blueberry,
Yeah.
please, for the love of everyone.
Let them go take a walk through the planter. They're gonna have so much
Exactly.
fun walking through the
Oh
dirt.
my gosh.
Just
I
go.
love seeing parents who do that. They're like, let's go on a little walk. And then their kid's fine.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Number 1.
What is it?
For the love of God, if you are teaching your kid how to order, by all means, encourage them to speak and try. I will be patient. I know that it takes kids longer to process things, but absolutely do not ever ask me to stay while you're teaching them a lesson. I am busy. I am working. I have other tables flagging me down because we've already spent way too much time on the back and forth of your kid not being able to do this task and whining and saying they don't want anything and you saying, look at the waitress and order. And the kid being humiliated because they're confused and me trying to smile. I'm not being paid to teach your kid things. That's called a classroom teacher and they don't get paid enough nearly for this bullshit you probably put them through as well, which is why I keep getting Handshake and Indeed offers for teaching positions, even though I've never taught a day in my life. And even if your kid does well, don't tell me to stand there while you teach them how to say thank you. Do the right thing, like this one family, and just let me walk away and then have your kid yell it across the restaurant. I could totally hear it. They get to have the time they need to learn it, and it's cute for everyone else, too.
Dude, I'd never even considered that this happens. This happens to you, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
like, I have to go.
I don't know.
I am doing something right now. I don't have all the time in the world to
Dang.
like be here for this family moment.
I guess parents need to practice at home before they do this?
Yes. Great idea. They get so mad at them too because like I'm standing over everything.
I can
the
relate.
parent like gets flustered and I'm like, don't get flustered. Just teach them as you go. They don't need to know this lesson right now.
Yeah, all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They like barely know anything.
yeah,
Give them a second.
yeah.
They're like, say thank you. I'm sorry. Wait 1 second. They need to know how to say thank you. Oh, I'm like, no.
That could take so long.
Goodbye.
It could take so long.
Goodbye. So
This is
crazy.
why I love this segment. I never know this. Never know what you're going to talk about. Like, never considered this reality.
Oh my God, it's
Man.
so crazy.
All right, those are great tips. Those are
There you
6
go.
great freaking tips. Please follow them, everyone. Please have some class when you're out for your fellow diners, for your server, for the chef, for everyone involved in this business. Please step it up.
I love it.
Good Lord. Well, thanks for bringing that, friend.
You're welcome.
Really great.
There you go.
Okay. When we come back, a lesson from Japan on how to live almost forever. And then, of course, we've got your no class picks. Stay with us. Welcome back. We told you last week that we've been watching this new Netflix documentary series called Blue Zones, and it's all about these little communities around the world where people regularly live to be 100 years old or older and what they have in common with each other. Cracking the code of living longer, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so while a huge part of it is what they eat, which is not a huge surprise, they're not eating, the endless shrimp deal at Red Lobster on the reg. But there are a lot
Damn
of
it.
other areas of life that seem to be just as important. And one of those areas that struck a chord with me and Morgan is this concept on the Japanese island of Okinawa of ikigai, or a person's purpose. When going to work to make money to live isn't really a concern anymore,
Right.
how do you spend your time? And so here's how they describe it on the show.
Okinawans have no word for retirement. When they get to be 60, 70, 89, they're still working. They might only be working in their garden to bring some vegetables home. They may have a stall in the market where they're only working in the morning. They're keeping their minds engaged. They're keeping their bodies moving. They could sum up their life meaning, the reason for which they wake up in the morning. They're told constantly that you count, we need you. People imbued with this constant sense of purpose, they know their values, and it makes those day-to-day decisions very easy because you know your core.
And so we see people, the wave crashes.
Beautiful.
We see this guy making musical instruments.
Yeah.
There's a woman who has a garden, and she also sewed and made stuff like that. And so they interviewed this one man who I think was one of the centenarians, as they call them, the people who've lived 100 years.
Right.
And he says, I contribute to the world. The art I've created will remain for hundreds of years after I pass away. This is my ikigai. I'm blessed. And then another man who's, I think, a centenarian says, he would study them. We would visit a centenarian house and we would check the physical and mental condition. And after that, I would ask, what's your ikigai? And ikigai is a kind of mission, a sense of purpose. And he says, I think ikigai is the main factor of spiritual health of the centenarians. If we lose the ikigai, we will die.
Yeah.
And this is something that I think about a lot. What will life be like when I'm old? How do I want it to be? What surprises me is that so many people don't think about this, I think, at all. Or they think about it, I think, in an unhealthy way. It seems like a lot of people feel like, man, I'm so excited to retire because it means I don't have to work anymore. But there isn't really a plan for what they're going to do after that. They don't have an ikigai in place already.
Right.
And so, that can take a tragic turn. I've heard many stories of people I've worked with who die very soon after retirement. They wait, they're so excited, they take the buyout, and then they're gone.
Well, I think that one of the problems, at least in the U.S., is that we think of retirement as this thing where you stop working and then you get like a hobby.
Right.
And a hobby is so different than what this is.
Yeah.
I think that when I think of purpose, it has this layering of helping or contributing in a way that brings something to the world or people.
Yeah.
Like the examples in the documentary were obviously like building, gardening, and then the documentarian carried it over to the other places in the world that were living longer, and they were like volunteering and stuff like that. And so like even when you're gardening, you're adding beauty to the world or sustenance, you know.
True.
I don't think it has to be anything like groundbreaking, like, oh, I'm doing this for humanity.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. That's true, is that these things are small things.
Yeah.
You're not building a temple,
Right.
like you say. You're just
Yeah.
something that makes the community around you, amplifies the community around you.
Yeah.
I think.
Or even helping one person, or I don't know. It's like this feeling of like your time not being wasted. Like they were saying, like it's of worth.
Yeah.
One thing it made me think of actually randomly was the 12-step process for recovering addicts.
Okay.
Because part of the path to recovering for your own self is being of service to others.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been proven that in order to help yourself, helping others really, really like puts you on the right path for certain things. So it's kind of like a similar way that our brain works to this retirement question, I guess.
And that makes sense to me in the 12-step program, because what little I know about the 12-step program is you're giving up this thing that has consumed your entire life. It's important for your life to have a purpose.
Right.
Other than just the freedom from this thing.
Yeah, like takes the pressure off of yourself, of you trying to be like, oh, like what should I do? What should I do? And just be like, oh, I can focus on someone else or something else.
Yeah.
And that's enough to focus on.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Interesting way to like understand our brains.
Yeah, totally. And seeing the people doing what they do, like it reminded me of people that I know, and it made me think like, man, they have an ikigai. And I hadn't thought about it this way, but they really do.
Well,
like
certain people do. And then you see the people who don't.
And
But
I feel bad
I know.
for them. I actually feel bad for the people that don't. And it may seem like, I don't know. I guess when you're younger, you may look down on older people and be like, oh, all she does is that all day. And like, why isn't she doing more? And like, man, that's exactly what they want to be doing.
True.
Like my grandma, she's always working on her house.
Yes.
She's constantly remodeling it over and over, bit by bit, painting, moving furniture. She's 87 years old.
Yeah, she can paint the whole damn house herself.
She can. But if she couldn't do that, that would be it, man.
No, you're so right.
Like my mom, always in the garden, has always had a garden. That's what she does.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, your mom, always writing, making music, stuff, writing books.
She has like 50 ikigai.
She has a strong ikigai game.
Yeah, she
like,
does.
For sure.
And she's always giving other people suggestions for theirs.
May I suggest an ikigai for you?
Maybe I suggest one ikigai.
So I was thinking, do you think that we have ikigais?
I think we do. It was interesting to think about because right now I feel like my ikigai is tied up in finishing school and stuff like that. So that's like, those types of thoughts are overwhelming that. I want to add words and books and stories to the world, and I think that will be kind of my ikigai until I die. But I also have this hope that someday, like, I will get into gardening and knitting and like swinging on a wooden bench swing while looking at fireflies. And I think, yes, a purpose can look purposeful, but also living well can have a purpose in it.
Yeah.
Like the perfect example, something I think I've mentioned before, is that time spent hanging out with an animal is never wasted. And I think there are other things like that, but we tend to be so busy that we forget to do the things that would help us live well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for more of a purpose, I think writing would be my ikigai. And if I haven't made movies by the time I'm old, I might just say F it and do that too.
Start doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like my homegirl Agnes, the French director. She's so dope.
That's really cool.
I think mine, see, when you brought up the point about like it has to be like, well, it doesn't have to be, but it's purposeful and it like makes the world better. I don't know if mine makes the world any better.
That's okay.
And it
I don't
feels
think
very
it has
small
to be that.
in
I think
scope.
it's like a broad spectrum.
Okay, well, you tell me if it's going to help anybody ever. But
Okay,
I think
what's yours?
mine is like my constant reading and learning through books and through the writings of other people, like across time. Like that's just something that I do. Like I really love books of letters and memoir because I get a broad swath of people's actual individual life experience. And it's made me journal, and I write my own, and I write letters, and it's something that I've done for years. I've never done something for this long in my life and consistently, and I never get bored of it. I'm never like, I'm done with that. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Like I've done with athletic activities and I've done with things like that. Like I go through phases, but this seems to be the one that I'm going to keep going with, and it makes my life better.
Yeah.
Like I have these moments still where I'm like, have this deeper mental and emotional experience, like watching like Poor Things the other night. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so like, I'm so overwhelmed with positivity having seen this movie, but it's because of all the Ikigai work that I've been doing.
Yes.
But it's for myself. So I don't know if that's helping anybody.
No,
I guess it makes me a more empathetic person. And like a more caring about people thing.
100%.
Which is a weakness that I had in my youth.
You're so funny. No, I think the seeking of knowledge can definitely be an Ikigai.
Okay.
I think that's a strong one.
Well, I hope people want to talk to me and ask me my knowledge when I'm older.
And
I don't work anymore.
Just wear a sign.
Yeah. Hey, ask me.
I have read a lot.
Talk to me about things.
I love that. Oh, my other like small Ikigai that I want to work towards is being like fit as F when I'm an old wrinkled lady, all white hair, doing like 20 pull-ups unassisted.
I mean, there's a couple strong. I mean, that is one thing that we did see is that the people that live to be 100, physically strong because they're never not working.
That guy like riding a horse and corralling sheep and stuff.
Not big on modern home appliances.
No.
Any of these people.
They're doing everything by hand.
Yeah, hand grinding corn. Like,
man.
Whoa.
Gotta have muscles for doing that.
Strong and grip.
Yeah, grip.
Strong grip.
Strong grip.
Great handshakes.
I love it.
All right, cool.
Thank you for bringing this up. I liked this one.
I think it's really
interesting to think about.
Listeners, if you guys do anything like this, do you have an Ikigai? Do you know somebody who's older and has an Ikigai? I would like examples of this. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
Let us know. 877 7-NO-CLOSE. 766-2527.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. When we come back, it's that time. Your No Class Picks of the Week. Stay with us. It's time to wind down the show here, bring it to a close the only proper way with our No Class Picks of the Week.
You're just a jealous,
no class,
lazy bum.
No class pick.
So remember last week I was saying I missed the listeners and I wanted to know how they were doing? Well, a bunch of them reached out and it was so nice to hear from them. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad you're all doing well. One listener even left us a no class pick. Here it is.
Hi, Brian and Morgan. It's Cambry. I'm calling the voicemail because Brian said in the end, I think it was the end of your recap episode, that no one ever uses the voicemail and it's his favorite when people do.
It is.
So I'm calling it in with my no class pick of the week.
Thank you.
And that is parking. On my street, we have street sweeping. And so every day there's a little hustle where we have to move our cars. There's this stretch of curb right in front of my apartment that can easily fit 3 full-sized cars. We've even seen 4 small cars crammed in there at one point. But there's 2 people, maybe it started with 1 person, but 2 cars that are taking up the entire space. And like they park so that there's barely enough room. No, you might think that there's room for a tiny little car like mine, but you can't. I've got a Spark. So if any car should park there, it should be my car. But not even my car can fit there and then they park like with just enough space in between them that there's not really space. Anyways, it's obnoxious. 2 cars taking up the entire space on street sweeping day for a full 48 hours. And it's obnoxious, and it is so no class.
Agree. Man.
Dude.
Some people who don't live in cities like this may not understand
Don't get it.
Because,
don't get it.
They don't have to deal with it all the time.
It is...
Man, having a driveway, you guys are living it rich.
Living it rich.
I've cried over LA parking. I've literally just sat in my car and cried.
You know, I go the opposite way. I rage.
I'm sure.
I rage so strong and so hard.
That
But
sucks.
it sucks so bad. Camry, thank you so much for
Yeah.
bringing this up because, you know, every day I'm driving and I experience something that makes me so mad and is so no class. And I say to myself, I should say this on the show. But then I think, no, the listeners don't want to hear about car stuff every freaking week. But if Camry brings it up, then
Yeah.
I can. So thank
There you
you so
go.
much. This is a huge one. You are so
It's so
right.
true.
People in this freaking town straight up don't know how to park.
No.
Like they're either too far from the curb, they're too far from the people in front of them. They don't give a crap.
No.
And sometimes it's strategic. They're like, I
know.
don't want people getting too close to my car.
car.
And if
I
I
know.
leave a space too big that someone can't fit, then I guarantee that there's not enough room.
That's dumb though, because once you move to LA, you should just accept like you're gonna have dings in your car. That's just how it is.
I don't agree with that
1,000%.
statement,
1,000%.
but it's more realistic.
Yeah.
To think that way. And a ding from directly ahead or directly behind is way better than
Yeah.
a ding on the sides.
Usually it doesn't even ding unless it's in certain cars.
Yeah, certain cars.
Yeah.
You are so right, so no class.
Definitely.
People should be called out for that type of stuff. And I
Yeah.
will sometimes. I'll be like, you're not going to move up?
If they're there.
Yeah. Like, there's plenty of room
yeah.
there. I could do it.
I know people have left notes, I think. I've
Yeah,
seen a
I was
few
gonna
people
say
leave notes.
that's funny. I was gonna say
"Move your
leave a
car
note
up."
on these fools, but then like don't because people get crazy
I
if they
know.
see you leave it. Only leave it if you know you're not gonna get caught
Yeah.
leaving it, and leave it and make it anonymous.
Yeah. Good pick.
That was great. So I do have a small no class pick.
Okay, awesome.
Went to a sporting event with friends, got a drink at an admittedly overly bougie bar across the street from the venue. My friend, who is a fan of sports, is wearing a jersey,
Oh.
and the dude at the door says, "You got to take it off. No jerseys inside."
What?
So my poor friend is just, not prepared for this. He just has like a reg
No.
t-shirt on underneath. So he's carrying his jersey around. It's terrible. Our other friend joins us wearing a jersey. She's a young woman, though.
No.
And is let in. Please go inside. Enjoy yourself. So the double standard
Yeah.
is no class. We got to be fair. If my men can't wear their jerseys, then the
No.
women can't wear their jerseys either.
That's so rude.
That's not right. No class.
That's no class.
Yeah.
Definitely. Good one.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. All right, guys. That's our show.
Sexism. Always no
Sexism.
class.
Thanks so much for being here with us. Like and or subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. We're on all the apps, also on YouTube. We appreciate you guys so much. Reach out to us everywhere. Instagram @That's No Class. You can also send us an email or a voicemail. That's no class @gmail.com or call 877-7-NO-CLASS, or as Morgan likes to say, 877-766-2527. Call us up. We love having your stories on this show.
Stay classy.
Stay classy and have a great week.
Never gets old.
At least we don't sing anymore.